Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to do a devlog or a developer vlog. Today we're going to be talking about CRAINE. So CRAINE is a HTML compiler that I built using Rust, and it has support for components. So let's see why you would need it. So basically, if you know about frameworks like React, Svelte, Vue.js, or Angular, they have the concept of components, which allow you to split your code between different files and different functions and all of that. Now, basically, CRAINE wants to do the same thing, but in pure HTML without using JavaScript. So if you know about React, it uses a virtual DOM. A DOM meaning the document object model of the whole HTML page. And in that, it uses JavaScript. Now, if you're a terminal freak like me, who likes to use links to browse web pages, and also if you have poor internet connection, then it's a hassle to load JavaScript and all that. So I just like pure HTML. So that's why I built CRAINE, and today I'm going to show you a few features of CRAINE which are quite good. So to install it, you just need to do this. It should be really easy to follow. I just clone it and run the cargo commands and it should be good to go. And yeah, you do need the Rust compiler. I'm going to probably make some nice binaries, but not for now. Anyways, we also have a tutorial here in the main page, and that should be pretty self-explanatory. And this video should probably add some things to it. As the developer of CRAINE, I should probably know something. So yeah, let's go. So I'm in the directory of CRAINE. I have a new empty directory here set up. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about the workspace. So a CRAINE workspace is a file, or it's a folder that contains a file called craine.json. Now, as by the name, it follows the JSON structure. There are two fields that are required. We explain it in the configuration section of the README. There is a build directory and a source directory. So let's set them. Let's set the src dir to /src. And for the focus of this tutorial, I'm going to set the build directory to /temp/output for now. That should be, you can put it to anyone, to be honest. Doesn't really matter. Now, once you do that, let's make the source folder and let's cd to the source folder. Let's make a file. So let's name it index.html. Use emit for some nice autocomplete. And let's do this. So hi YouTube. Okay. Now let's see how to compile using CRAINE. So the first thing that you need is you need to obviously be in the directory. So let's go there. Then you can do CRAINE --path and the path to the workspace. So currently we are in the workspace, so we're going to do the dot, and then we're going to also say --autorun. What that does is it will compile the HTML, the CRAINE HTML, which is in the source folder, every time it changes. So it's like nodemon for you guys who use Node.js. So let's run it, and at the start it's not going to do anything. We need to actually change something. So let's change to YouTube like that. Okay, let's add the smiley face anyways. Okay, let's write it, and in the output you'll see writing this. Okay, now how do you get it? So I'll just open it using this. I think temp/output/index.html. There you go. That's our folder, or that's our CRAINE compilation. Now this is pretty simple, you might say. So let's do something else. Let's make a folder in okay, let's get back here. Okay, let's make a folder, or let's make a component. Let's name it, I like to use the word fancy, so I'll say fancy header.html. Inside that, we're gonna have like a boilerplate header kind of thing. So we're gonna have an h1 which says hello, and that should be it for now. So that's it. That's our fancy header. Now, if you go to CRAINE, you'll see that it did write it, but there's nothing in here. Why is that? You need to import it. So how do you import it? You go to the file you type in info dot slash or the path to that fancy header.html. That's it. Once you do that, you can come in here and you can write it like JSX or basically like HTML. I write it, refresh, there you go. The header text comes in. Now that's also pretty simple. You could have just written it, right? But here's the power of CRAINE. I can use variables inside this. So if I do close this, and if I do this syntax, this is how CRAINE does variables. So let's say name and a value. Let's name it YouTube. That's the name of the person. Okay, let's come back to the file. Doesn't change. Now let's see how to read it. Read a variable. So let's read it here. So let's read the name variable. Okay, so this is how CRAINE does variables. This is gonna change soon because that's not really compatible. Like one of them, oh sorry, okay, there you go. Let's do a split. So one of them uses the curly braces and the other one uses the normal the other one basically. Now if I refresh, there you go, the variable comes up here. Now you might be wondering how CRAINE does it. So the way CRAINE does it right now is if I go to the elements, you'll see that this is the normal HTML that we had, and this is our component. The component is wrapped inside a div, and inside that the code comes in. Now let's say you want to do some styling, so let's add a style tag. Let's grab the header, or let's grab the h1. Let's give it a color. The color is going to be a variable. Now this is where CRAINE comes in play with something like Sass, for example, SCSS basically. What that you can add variables and stuff like that in Sass. But now I'm going to show you how you can do this. Okay, so basically do this color and let's give it red. Okay, let's F5. Hit F5, or maybe it didn't change it. Okay, that's my bad. Should have done something else before, but it might be because this is inside a header. That could be a reason why it is, or maybe it's not, or maybe I just forgot to save the file. Could be a valid reason. Let's save, refresh. Okay, never mind. But it is indeed working, so not a big deal for me. But yeah, I'll probably check why that is. Probably see, okay, invalid property, or maybe it's because because of the quotes. Let's change the quotes around. Okay, there you go. So now you can change it. So yeah, don't add quotes like CSS properties, at least for color. Let's just go to one more example. Let's add one more of this fancy header thing. Let's make it green for now, or let's give it a custom color. So let's give it 232E. That's the color that I like. Hello ASDF, should be good to go. Refresh, there you go. So now you can see one issue that CRAINE has right now, and that is that the colors do leak, or the CSS leaks. Basically, there are many divs. You can see two divs here, and they get overridden as they are written. So that is a bit of a problem. That shouldn't be such big of a problem, but it is. Now my plan is to scope the CSS so that it is really, like really into it. So the way you can avoid something like that right now is to give it an ID. So you can give this one an ID of 0, give this one an ID of 1, and then over here you can probably use something like you can say dot fancy header dash, then give it the ID right here, and then give it the color right there. Now yes, my Vim thing is complaining, but for now it's fine. I just think it's fine for now. And let's give it a class over here. Class equals to fancy header dash ID. Okay, now this should hopefully fix it. Let's save it on both sides. Okay, now you can see that this one right here, this one is red color. You can see the FF000, This one is the color that I gave it, and this one is this black. So this was just a very basic introduction to CRAINE and how CRAINE functions. There will be a lot of tutorials soon about CRAINE, and not only tutorials but also development vlogs like the scoped CSS that I just mentioned and many more. So if you want to see it, definitely subscribe to my channel and all that jazz, and I'll see you another day. Okay, thanks for watching CRAINE.